This is the Resurrected Hobbyist with part 13 of my long play feedback video series on pairs. So last time, Dragon and Ricardo had a frank conversation regarding their relationship, and Ricardo, said he felt like he had been lied to and was being used by Dragon. Claims that are not entirely inaccurate, unfortunately. So Ricardo has left. Unclear if he is still in the base or somewhere else, but since he can disguise himself, that's kind of the problem. You have no idea what he looks like, which means you can't track him. So anyway, so now Dragon, is on her own, basically. So let's see where we go. So, even though it's my skin, it looks foreign without Ricardo's glamour. I wonder, not for the first time, if he's happy wherever he is. I wonder if I'll ever get the chance to apologize for my mistakes. The fact that I can't answer either of these questions fills me with regret. But it doesn't compare to the way I feel knowing that I may never be able to. Oh, I should have kept going for just a couple more minutes on part 11. And I got the bad ending with best friend betrayed. I'm curious where the choice to be made on that. So, my thoughts on the Dragon route. One of the big issues I have with that route is it's very Ricardo heavy. And that's not automatically a bad thing. Certainly, talking about a character from the perspective of another character gives you avenues to explore the character and their effect. But I'll be honest, I learned a lot more about Ricardo than I did Dragon. Really, the only thing that I picked up about Dragon is she's hot-headed, impetuous, a little stubborn, and emotionally immature. Whereas Ricardo, we got a lot better view of him as a character, interacting with others, how he thought about things, how he approached situations. So, of the two routes I've done thus far, I like KP's more. I like Kitten Pink's more, but that's still only about half the game. So, there's still room to pull a fast one, and have Ricardo's route be much more Dragon focused, and level it out that way. So, but anyway, just to continue my direction, just going right to left. Now I'm going to do the James route. May. James, you keep turning off your alarm. Just get up already. Oh, I see. So James has the same problem I have in the morning. My sister's voice cutting through my bizarre dreams. I sit up with a start. It's 7 a.m. A sentiment all too familiar. Counting on my fingers, I do some quick calculations. Drop May off at school by 7:15, be at the shop by 7:30, get to work in time to finish the raspberry lemon torte garnish, layer the sea salt caramel banana pudding, and the thumbprints at I trail off giving up. I was supposed to be at work an hour ago, and I'm just waking up now, so there's no way I'll be on time. Yeah, that's kind of the feeling I was getting off of that. I run out of fingers before I run out of tasks to track on the ever-growing list of things I need to do today. I try not to sigh. At least I can guarantee that May won't be late for school. Not today, anyway. Pushing myself back from the chair, I hear something land on the ground. It's May's jacket. Tumbling from its previous position around my shoulders, I scoop it up and toss it on the bed. I have got to stop falling asleep here. Where are you? Are you not at your home? After the fastest shower of my life, I brush my teeth and get dressed, tossing my things in my bag and grabbing my phone. I hear a text notification the moment it touches my palm. I'm in the car. Your lunch is in the kitchen on the table. Thanks, May. Throwing my jacket on, I rush out the door. The shop is still dark when I walk in. The display case is empty. Hannah, my co-worker, looks up the moment I walk in, then gets back to her work. Hello, Zelda. You know, for someone who somehow managed to convince my mom that they'll be okay watching the shop alone for the next 2 months, you're doing a pretty terrible job. She tosses my apron at me, landing it squarely on my face. You're late. Yep. Hannah grimaces, but she doesn't take the time to spare me the angry glare I probably deserve. She's too busy with scooping and pressing out a bunch of thumbprint cookies. How many do we need? 9 dozen. We got in a huge last-minute delivery order for Solomon Cumulo. I would have loved to have another assistant baker here for, I don't know, assisting, but somehow I opened the shop to discover that I was all alone. Again. I love the sprite work on that. I wash my hands, strapping on my apron. No point in making up excuses now. Let me guess. Taking May to school? Yep. You should seriously consider getting her a car. Sounds like you want to pay for it. How much are you getting paid again? Not enough for the amount I cover when you're late. Touché. She glances my way, and sure enough, there's the glare that she was holding back earlier. Yeah. I don't get it. I mean, I know your sister. Pass me the peach marmalade, please. Keeps you busy, but I'm more concerned with your little disappearing acts. Disappearing acts? Yes, disappearing acts. I don't know what goes on in that head of yours, but it is absolutely unacceptable to go on a lunch break and not come back. I told you, I know what you told me, but I load 2 trays of cookies and shut the oven, wiping my hands on the apron. I'm not going to be mad, but I'd like to know what's going on with you. You don't answer your phone. You don't call, you don't answer your phone, you're always tired, you show up later than usual. May has always been your sister, so I'm used to things coming up, but this is a whole new level. It's not like you at all. So I've been thinking, are you dating someone? Oof. So, from what I have seen of James thus far, I get a very distinct feeling that he is, what's the expression? I can't think of the phrase right now. He plays all of his emotions very close at hand, like he feels that he has been betrayed at some point. So he always keeps other people at arm's length, tries to control what information is available about him, and doesn't like giving other people information that they have asked for. So I'm gonna say he is not going to deflect the question, but he's going to try and slink around it. And so he's not going to say, no, I'm not dating anyone. He's going to say, no, why do you think I'm dating someone? Yeah, like that. You got all the signs, such as you zone out at work and you leave as soon as your shift ends. I mean, that literally just boils down to he has somewhere else he'd rather be than here. Not necessarily ruling out the girlfriend possibility, but also doesn't prove it either. I cross my arms calmly. So you're saying that any person who zones out and leaves work on time is secretly dating someone? I'm going to stop talking. I feel like I'm going to be voicing James in more ways than I already am. Moving on. Well, no, but maybe I'm zoning out because my sister is in her first years of high school and she's been weirdly secretive lately. It's her second year, James. I think you've had time to get used to it. So I'm not allowed to feel concerned? Come on. Have some sense of familial affection. See, defensive. Being a little more than obstinate, not actually addressing the question levied at him. Okay, fine. Let's pretend I actually buy the garbage that you're dishing out. Still. And maybe I leave after work because I have other things to do. Yep. Since when have you had other things to do? Look, you don't know my life outside of work. See? Her expression's unsure. She uncrosses her arms as she watches me scoop out a lump of cookie dough. Pass me the other rolling pin. Okay, fine. It's not a crime. I still feel like something's off. I mean, you seem exhausted. We don't even get to hang out like we used to. You're always broke when I try to invite you out. I've always been broke. More so than usual. How do you get more broke than broke exactly? I mean, granted, I live paycheck to paycheck, no question. There are certainly times that I don't have enough of a paycheck left to do something. But, broke is broke. I didn't know you paid attention so closely. I wonder what other kinds of attention you've been paying to me. Redirection. Yep. A little shock play. Implying that I suspect she likes me is a low blow, even for me. No, I don't think it is, James. I think you can go a lot lower. But in this case, a necessary one. Hannah falls silent, unsure if she wants to continue. And that's exactly what you thought was going to happen, too. After a long, uncomfortable moment, she sighs, deciding against pressing the matter further. Success. Yeah. Okay, I get it. Maybe it's not a secret, girlfriend, but one thing I do know is that you are definitely hiding something. Yeah? Nice to know that you're just going to think what you want anyway. Yeah, well, James, reality check. We come to the conclusions based on the information that we have at hand. The information you have provided leads her to this conclusion. Thanks for the permission. Don't you mean persimmons? Persimmons? Oh no, the apple and persimmon tart. Oh no. Grabbing the oven mitts, she turns toward the oven. I finish putting the last of the desserts into the display case as Hannah flips the open sign. I can't believe I won't see this place for the next 2 months. Well, that's what you get for deciding to be all fancy and going away on an island vacation. I don't think a mandatory family vacation is all that fancy. Dad and my step ugh. Not familiar with that term. Dad and my step ugh are going to disappear anyway, so it'll just be me, Moria, and the triplets, all annoying me at the same time. Hannah smiles, then frowns, shooting me a glare. Please tell me there'll still be a shop when I come back. I ain't putting money on that one, Hannah. I stand straighter, saluting her. Scout's honor. $5 says he was never a scout. Sarcasm isn't honorable. Is that so? James, Yeah, I get it. Less sarcasm, more honorableness. She hands me the key. Okay, don't forget where the spare is. And heads up, Mom told me she'll be calling you to check on you every once in a while. She's still in Paris doing her training, and I'd like to keep it that way. If anything, and I mean anything, happens to this shop short of a Nayan kicking down the door and setting everything on fire, I'll have your skin. Really? Had to go for that particular, exception? Somehow, I managed to keep a straight face. Listen, Hannah, the shop isn't going to burn down just because you leave for a little while. Hannah is annoying, but I get her concern. Since Noya came into my life, the shop has gone through some bizarre instances, all of which I've had to painstakingly cover to the best of my ability. Yeah. The boss is fooled, mainly because she's not here as often, but Hannah is less easily persuaded. All I'm saying is that if anything you do too while watching this shop prevents me from inheriting it, Hannah, you're way too invested in this job. I mean, really, even coming to work on the day you're supposed to leave for the family vacation is a sign that you need to relax. And isn't that just what vacations are for? You can go fuck yourself, James. Relax? With you watching the shop? Yeah, I'm with Hannah. She snorts. Unlikely. Giving the shop one last lingering look, Hannah sighs at the sound of a text notification from her phone. Thanks for this, though. I guess it's better than closing down while me and Mom are gone. Sort of. I've got to go. My ride's here. I pat her on the back, waving as the passenger van pulls away. When it disappears out of sight, I let out a deep breath. Finally, I can relax. Checking my watch, I shuffle away from the doorway and go back into the shop. With Hannah gone, I don't have to be so careful, especially since Kitten isn't the most subtle person in the world. I check the clock. T-minus 6 hours until the arrival of the princess. Working in a pastry shop, there are two kinds of days. The kind where you sit there suffering through the monotony, and what in the... I hear a fire engine begin to wail somewhere in the distance. So about that exception if a Nayan kicks down the door and burns the place down, and then there are days like this. I worked retail for 20 years, 19. For a part of that, I worked at Geek Squad. And one day I came into work to find out that the Geek Squad department was closed. Not temporarily, investigating something, hold on, someone's not here and someone's got to figure out what the right hand is doing and where the left hand is. But no, literally, police, insurance, engineers, all of this stuff was there. And what had happened was a car had actually hit the back wall of the section of the building where Geek Squad was at that Best Buy. I think I would take that scenario over what James is doing. Also because I think if I had to work with James, I'd have shot him by now. Turning on the shop's TV, I take out the lunch May made for me and pull up the stool behind the counter. This is Marvelous Jones with QNN reporting on a breaking news story. A flower truck in the most recent victim of a bizarre alien attack. A flower truck. Noya, what are you doing? This is the 9th such attack in recent memory, all of which have occurred in residential areas across the city. We want to get you straight to the action. Here is QNN reporter Ana Ozales, live on the scene. Thank you, Marvelous. We're here on the corner of 12th and Pearl Street. As you can see, the truck has been completely split open and flower petals are scattered everywhere. Oh no, not again. I could have sworn she said she understood when I asked her not to do this anymore, but I'd turn up the volume. Hey, you gotta get your entertainment where you can, James. Apparently not. We have 3 eyewitnesses who claim that a light came from the sky and blasted something, or someone, straight through the roof of this truck. In fact, here's the driver now. Mr. Sally, can you give your account of what happened? I have a feeling that I know exactly what Mr. Sally is going to say. There was this woman, not our kind, mind you, one of them Nayans, had this skin, teal-like, and the devil's own grin. She seized a bunch of my finest orchids and then blasted right on out of here through the side of my truck. The camera zooms in on the truck, which has been cracked in half like a peanut shell. Jeez, kitten. How delusional do I really think James is? No, he's a narcissist, or not a narcissist, what's the phrase? I can't think of the word. Someone who's very good at manipulating emotions, particularly in others. We kind of saw that with Hannah earlier. They are not known for their delusions. So we're going to go with annoyance. I can't help but feel a little annoyed. I don't understand why she insists on risking her life for these Nayan traditions. Okay. So, I mean, maybe I don't understand. It's not like I have a lot of experience with Nayans in the first place, but I know that no tradition is worth risking your life for. Okay, I might have to walk back my not being a narcissist statement. If you keep doing things this, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be, if you keep doing things like this, you're going to get yourself killed, which would be especially wasteful since I told you already, you don't have to keep doing things like this. I stare at the broken delivery truck on the television, a very different, unexpected secondary twinge pinching my conscience. The facts are there. Noya is, in a word, a beast. And I know she can take care of herself. Still, I can't help but feel strange looking at that broken husk of a van. I hope she's alright. There's a question about that? The word surprises me. She's Nayan, a warrior bred in the blood and fire of stars, and I have the distinct feeling that she's taking my worries and tossed them straight into the sun. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and call it there for part, what part am I on? 13? And I'll pick it up again next part. So far, as far as the James route goes, I mean, I've dealt with people like James before, narcissistic, ego-tripping. They tend to only view things in their perspective. It's definitely emotionally manipulative. Yeah. He's basically what I would call a tier 3 bully. He's not the big hulking, give me your lunch money kid. But he's the quiet one. The one who's going to do everything in his power to turn the situation around to their benefit. Because they can only see it for their benefit. So, anyway, be sure to catch me for part 14.